do y'all feel about the 2 new drops? Texas
two
Hold'em.
Oh, I thought you said jobs. I was like, what are
the
they?
2 new drops. The Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages.
I have not heard them all the way. Like
I
I heard
sick.
them, but I heard them, you know, like in a group setting.
us.
So I haven't sat with it on my own time. So.
And you?
I'm literally obsessed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to Texas Hold'em every day.
Yeah.
Love 16 Carriages.
16 Carriages is
So
for
I'm.
us.
It's
That's what
just
you
annoying.
told me. I was like, I gotta listen
The
to it
fact
in the
that I
car.
know that we're gonna hear those songs live
Yeah.
is what is driving me, and I feel like we're gonna get some surprises as far as just production. I don't know what the fuck. Like, I was literally just texting my cousin who lives in Detroit, and she's just like, "What do you feel about Texas Hold'em? I just heard it." I'm like, I'm obsessed. I love both songs. She's talking about there was another song.
Oh, you gotta wake up.
I'm
babe.
like, where's the world at?
Wake up.
Like, yeah,
Like,
she
wake
dropped
up.
2 songs. How do you not
2
see
songs.
one and not see the other?
16 Carriages, if you're a person who identifies as female and you are the oldest person who identifies as female amongst your parents' children, if you've ever paid a bill from one of your parents, if you've ever had a bill in your name, if you've ever had to, like, do the, oh, well, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
You got to clean up. You got to, boys are, your brother's, he's not, you got to do that. Like, if you've ever been that girl, 16 Carriages is for you. It's for the girls who had to grow up too fast. And it wasn't our choice.
I didn't even know that she was going through that.
Oh, my God.
Makes me sad, little.
I mean, like, it makes sense. When you,
It
like,
does.
everything that she said, it's like, well,
She
yeah,
said
of
mama
course.
crying, daddy lying. Saw that 16. Well,
Mama,
saw it pretty young.
Mama crying, daddy lying, and also, like, I had to take care of the fucking family. Like, once it, because, like, no matter, because obviously Beyonce's parents were, like, decently well off, right?
Absolutely.
But, like, and that's the thing. Like, I think that people be having it misconstrued. Like, Beyonce came from, like, this silver spoon lifestyle. Obviously, she had more money than a lot of us, like, before she became Beyonce. But
It was
it's
regular
a totally
middle
different
class.
thing when your fucking 15-year-old gets a record deal. She's the fucking breadwinner. She's the
Damn.
breadwinner, and everything we do now is to pour into this because she's making the money. And that's a lot of fucking pressure for a kid. That's crazy to think about.
It is
Yeah.
crazy
It's
to think about.
crazy.
You're right.
No, she made that song for us, all of us.
Yeah, I have to
Like,
play him. I'm gonna play him again when I get in the car.
I've only listened to it 3 times
Play it
because
loud,
I
too.
can't. I
Turn
actually
it up.
like it hurts my heart. It's a beautiful song though. It's very like it's beautifully country too. I feel like the genre of country is very vulnerable. Like when you listen to country music,
storytelling.
they tell stories and they're telling their fucking truth. Like, I miss my fucking ex. I will slash your fucking tires. It's big,
Carrie Underwood.
big, deep emotions.
Love that song.
It's big, deep emotions, you know? And so I think that makes, not this, it makes me very excited for what
so
this
Matthew
album
and I
is
was
going to
talking.
be.
He thinks visuals will come out after Act 3
Oh, shit. Like all visuals?
at one time.
Don't play with me. I will,
Oh my God.
I'll actually throw up. I'm actually going to throw up at that thought. I have another thought. Are you ready for it?
Ready.
Damn.
I said, are you ready for it?
Ready.
Okay. So obviously she's done the country thing, which is something that people have been speculating for a while. That people have speculated that each act is a different genre, and now that she's concluded, like, also though, can I also just say, we think of acts in 3 acts because of like theater, but to be honest, there's nothing really saying that it's only 3, so that makes me nervous. I'm expecting there to be 3 just because that's standard. But anyway, we've all speculated already that there's going to be separate genres. Now that we have this Act 2 coming out and it's confirmed it's country, and it's confirmed, I feel like she dropped the 2 songs at the same time to confirm, like, no, this isn't just like a single, like, this isn't a daddy lesson situation. Like, it's gonna all be country, babe. So I feel like she did that on purpose. But something occurred to me the other day. I was sitting at home and I was like, she kind of gave us a little bit of a blueprint, a little bit of a taste in Lemonade, if you think about it.
Saying what?
If you think about the sound of Formation, it's very EDM disco house. The sound of it. Daddy Lessons is a full-out country song.
Right.
and then Don't Hurt Yourself is a whole rock song. I feel like she already gave us, and then everything else around Lemonade is basically just R&B.
I think 6 Inches also.
6 Inches
song.
also rock.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like she's already kind of given us a taste of like.
Well, I think she's
and that's
always
her last
experimenting with other sounds
Beyonce
too, though.
But that's
like she always experiments,
but no, guys,
in and out of the genre.
But that's her last solo album. And for her to put those 3 distinct sounds in that album, it feels a little bit like, okay, now we know. Like, it feels like a little bit of a hint.
I mean, because her mom said
she said, "Enjoy, babes. I've been hearing it for years."
Yeah, I was like, so.
She said 38 summers and 16 carriages.
Tina is a bitch.
It's been years. Tina is a fantastic.
Tina loves to be like, guys, y'all have fun. I've been doing this for years, child. Which I love that.
I've been doing this for years.
But no, I did think about that. I'm like, okay, I feel like everything is kind of, lots of things are just leading us to a place. But I'm excited. Are you into country music?
Yeah, I mean, if I like it,
yeah,
but I'm not like
you're into the country that you like.
Yeah, like I'm not like country. You know, I'm not like that. Like, but I also have a hard time deciphering sometimes what makes a song country.
Really?
Because like as a child, to me, country music meant either I'm hearing an accent or I'm hearing that like country twang like in the beat type of thing. And so so it's like if I'm not hearing those two things, I don't know if I would necessarily like, I don't know what would make me necessarily categorize it as country. Cause like we talked about here before, I think like a few episodes back when I was like, you know, Taylor Swift came out like as like a country artist, you know, and like now I heard a few songs from her to me that where I was like, yeah, like that's a country song. But as like her career like continue on, like I was like, what makes it? But I don't know what makes the genre of country without those two things. I think
that with Taylor Swift specifically, she stopped doing country and she transitioned to pop.
But even like the song we just talked about, like the Carrie Underwood song that we were just talking about, what makes it country though to me is me hearing the country in her voice. Yeah. But if she didn't have that, if she didn't have like the accent or the like, I don't know if like hearing, like I don't know if without the twang, if I could categorize, I would hear it and be like, obviously that's a country song.
I would have to listen to like a group of songs with you because I feel like I know a country song when I hear it.
Me too.
Like just like even without the accent. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know.
Like, I hear it in the 2 songs that Beyonce put out, but she made them, but her beat choices were, like, you know, like, the 2 songs, like, like, they were quintessential, those were quintessential, like, this is a country beat. So, yes, I can hear that. Yeah. And I know for a fact this is a country song. Yeah. But without that, if it's a different beat or a different like,
so y'all know that.
But those are, I think those are the things that make a country song.
But all country artists don't. It's not like that. Like for every song.
Like who?
Like I don't. Well, I'm not a country.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't like every country artist that
I'm saying like songwriter. Like I can't just call them out. Like well, you know, such and such. And like I don't know.
Lady Antebellum. It's 1:15. I'm a little drunk and I need you now.
A fucking jam.
But so there was like
a little racist, but
I thought that's like a up and down.
It's the sound of their voice.
Yeah, I think
but that's what I'm saying. Without that.
It's not an accent.
There is an accent involved in most country, but
but like Lady Antebellum, that's not an accent. That's a bounce.
That's what right. It's like a up
right. And I'm saying
it's not an accent though. It's just a bounce. But you know the sound. Like that's what I'm saying. But like I think you're right though. I think that the songs that you point out is country. But like. I mean, I think
like
all
I'm interested to hear like a whole album because I've never sat and listened to a whole country
by
album.
Itself.
Like I have my country songs that I know and I like, but I have never sit and listened to an entire country album. So it'll be interesting to hear what is Beyonce her perception of like what is country. Like what is country? Because if every song doesn't have that same beat or that same like like banjo. What's gonna make it? Yeah, like what's gonna make this? Like no, this is my country album.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
But no, I'm very excited. I also expect her to, or not expect. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if it'll. Does she have features on Act 1?
Yeah, I mean, just don't list them.
Grace Jones, Tim's?
The guy who does Energy, I forgot his name.
I don't remember his name either.
Probably it. Outside of producing.
I mean,
stuff.
aside from like T.S.
Actual
Madison
hearing their mouth.
and like
like hearing their voice on the track. Yeah.
Okay. So but because it makes me curious, and that's the thing too about Beyonce. And the thing that's like so thrilling but also annoying about her is like we could sit here and be like, okay, so this one she did this, so, like she's not gonna follow the same formula likely. It's not gonna be the same. But like I keep thinking about just like country people that she would collaborate with. She already has the songs with the Chicks.
She does.
I would expect. I kind of feel like Dolly Parton. If it's not just a Dolly Parton cover, I kind of wonder.
You know how people be using people's voices and sampling stuff?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be crazy of that.
But I don't know. I feel like there's some collaboration happening.
I'm not excited about the Dolly Parton collaboration, but it will make sense.
So here's the thing. I'm excited about the potential of a Dolly Parton. And I don't know if it's a collaboration. I mean, because Dolly Parton is fucking Dolly Parton.
She's a fucking icon.
She literally never has to do anything fucking again. And if you do anything that's like remotely related to Dolly Parton, it's going to be fucking iconic as long as you do it right. And it's Beyonce, so she's going to do it right. But as far as collaboration, I feel like Reba's been stepping out lately.
Reba has.
Reba's been stepping out, and it's kind of making. I feel like I can see Beyonce and team kind of like because Beyonce loves to like. She loves to like do a little tease, do a little like I'm gonna come out in this type of attire every time I step out and give a little like hint to something. And I feel like the fact that Reba's been out so much, it feels like Reba was like told. Like, hey girl, okay, give us a little, give us a little. She did. She was there. And she did the, which was just cute as fuck. But she posted that tweet where she had on boots and a fur jacket, and she tweeted boots with the fur.
Oh,
and T-Pain retweeted it and was like, the whole club was it was very adorable. But like stuff like that, like getting Reba to kind of like tap in like that, I kind of like, is Reba involved?
You talking about is Reba involved?
Because I love me some, baby, I love me some fucking Reba McEntire. That's another white woman that we don't really play about as far as the black community. I agree. Reba, Dolly, really Carrie Underwood too. We don't fuck
the name of your favorite movie. Well, at least it used to be. No.
Wizard of Oz?
No.
Faith Hill, babe.
If you don't say this movie, it's going to be crazy to me.
Poetic Justice, Wizard of Oz, favorite movie. Liar, liar.
When I first met you, you were telling me this was your favorite movie all the time.
One?
I can't think of the name of it. That's why, like,
what's the plot? Like, who's in it?
Like, she's singing. She moves to New York.
Oh, Coyote Ugly.
Coyote Ugly.
I love Coyote Ugly.
That's an example to me of how. Wait. That's what I'm bringing up. When she was singing Can't Fight the Moonlight,
she brings her out.
I didn't necessarily hear that in my head as a country song. When LeAnn Rimes came out and was singing it at the end, then I was like, now it's a country song.
She came through and said, Can't Fight the Moonlight.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what that to me is what a lot of times is making the difference between a country song and not a country song. Yeah. Before, it was just a song. Then you put your accent on it, and I was like,
also, if you listen to the actual songs, there are two different guitars in those songs. Because the what's that girl? What was her name? The blonde, the star,
the main girl,
Violet.
Yes,
it was like very like electric, and they did soften that in the regular like LeAnn Rimes version. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm nervous. I'm scared.
I don't have time for a whole I'll be happy if it's not like a whole tour and stuff again because I don't have the capacity.
In my mind, though, I don't think she does either. Like I don't. Not. I feel like, girl, you got kids.
The kids just got home.
We never see Sir.
Never see Sir. Where is he?
I just feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. Not like that. Not like anything's happening. But you you got kids and stuff like. Blue is ready. Blue is like, hey,
Blue and Rumi are like carbon copies of each other.
Blue's gonna have a feature on this album.
They look so much alike. It's insane.
Yeah, Blue's gonna come out with her own album soon.
She got a song on the album.
But no, I kind of feel like if she does do more live shows, I think it'll be a residency. It might be like
at the Sphere in
It
Vegas.
might be a mini residency. I was listening to something and they were talking about how the residency's capacity is only 18,000, which the thought of that is terrifying because
we gotta get in there.
All of her world tour, all of those stadiums, that's like 40,000 plus. Imagine us trying to fucking get tickets. Like, it's going to be nuts.
But that's the point of, like, a residency, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Hoping that you're there long enough.
Yes, it has to be long enough for it to, like, really try to satisfy everybody who would want to be a part.
But see, I actually don't want that for her. I want that for Rihanna. I think that is what I want to breathe into the universe for Rihanna. I feel like that makes so much sense. If I think about what Usher's life has been the past couple of years and how long he got to be stationary, like in Vegas and just live and like, you know, obviously he was still all around, like, because he's Usher. But I'm like, that is the only way that I foresee Rihanna even being willing to do music again if it allows her to be in one spot.
You just said the key word. I think that we all as a fan base have to just accept the fact that she doesn't want to. I don't think she wants to.
I want to hear it
because I don't like it's all of these because like she started having kids years after Anti. She could have been gave us something, and it's been a whole lot of like her teasing and laughing at us. All of these interviews and stuff where someone's like, "When's the album come out?" And she's like, "Who sent you?" Da da da. Ha ha ha. It's all these jokes. She knows what the people want. She doesn't care
because the music industry sucks.
She doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's that she doesn't want to. I think it's like I think it's been like ebbs and flows. Because now she's in the phase where now I feel like now she's probably like. Well, now I'm doing something completely different now. Like now I'm in a whole different like realm of life. But I think before it was just like ebbs and flows, and now
I think if Rihanna wanted to, she would have. Especially because she fulfilled her contract. She really could have came out and been like, "Oh, now we finna step on bitches' necks because I did what I was supposed to do and what I had to do, and now I get to be creative and da da da." But she chose to do that in totally different avenues. I just don't feel like she wants it.
I don't know why her doing the Super Bowl to me was like a nod to the fact of like I'm not done here. Like I'm on another, like I'm doing something else.
I'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, like I haven't forgot about y'all. Like this isn't like this part of my life isn't like over. Like who knows when, but I don't feel like she's over there like I don't want to do music.
No, I think that don't want to doesn't mean forever. But like she hasn't wanted to in like 8 years. And she had the opportunity to and she couldn't.
8 years is nuts.
And I think that she's still an icon, which is why we got the Super Bowl. But like and she'll come back when she wants to. But I'm not worried about it. I'm not holding my breath for that.
When it comes to
I'm excited about the idea of this fear thing, but I'm just scared about the fucking process. Like if that does happen, I think it might happen, especially because they put it in the commercial. I don't know. Something about that was like, it just felt kind of obvious.
I don't want that, and I don't want to stress myself out trying to get there.
I don't feel like
it. Honestly, like that's just way
like
too much.
But I think that it'll make sense. I feel like it'll make sense, especially now. Like doing another whole world tour sounds, logistically, it sounds nuts. You're going to do that all again with your kids and... Like, that sounds crazy.
Like, for a human being, it sounds ridiculous.
I feel like the best case scenario would be like, okay, we're moving to Vegas for a year or whatever.
Tina posted some Caucasian women singing Texas Hold'em.
Yuck.
And they sound so good. They sounded great. They had cowboy hats on, and then somebody in the comments was like...
those 3 girls from TikTok?
Yeah, and then people were like in the comments like, if we got to compete with them, y'all, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah,
because
now
we're bringing country fans.
The white girls are on TikTok showing you how to tease your hair. The white girls were like, "Oh, y'all move over, niggers."
Now we're in the concert,
which is crazy.
To compete with them hoes,
I'm not.
And it makes sense.
It doesn't.
And it's like I get it. I get it.
Time for that.
I said it doesn't.
I get it because why wouldn't? I mean, Beyonce is already at like Michael Jackson kind of level. Like I feel like when it comes to like her stardom and like the the connections that she has in the world, so she already has a huge white fan base as is. And now on top of that, you're telling me the same way you just made a whole album that was tailored for a group of people. It's like now you're telling us like, hey girl, Now I'm going to make an album that's tailored to your genre. Like, y'all do this. Like, my niggas that's been riding with me since I came out at fucking 9 and 10 and stuff, that's not what they were doing. Y'all do this.
I just know them bitches was in the forest shooting squirrels, and they were like,
this sounds amazing.
I'm like, is that?
And that's what I mean, though. Like you said, shooting fucking squirrels. They're like, this is our music.
So
like Beyonce's doing something for us. It's how they get to feel.
But I really do hope that white people understand what it is that she's doing, because what she's doing is taking back the genres that black people created.
You're right.
And so, like, not too much cocks, you know? Like, still enjoy yourself. Because, yes, for most of us, I know we have a good plethora of black people who are Southern, who are from Texas, from Oklahoma, from fucking Louisiana, who did the black rodeos, who like, it's niggas out here that are like, oh, you bitches need to catch up.
Yeah.
You fucking New Yorkers, you Midwesterners, you Californians, like, y'all need to catch up. This been our shit. And I really want them at the front. Yeah. I want the black girls who went to the fucking rodeos in the front.
But they're a part of the world that I'm talking about, though. So that's why. So they should be.
But also they're not. It's
well,
not
we're not
the
the majority. We're the
not
minority.
No. But I'm talking about just the country. Yeah. That whole
country
that
culture
of the country music.
Caucasian,
I'm saying those people that you're talking about, they are a part of so they should be in the forefront.
No, I want
like,
the
why
black
wouldn't
ones
they
there
the black
first.
ones in the front.
But why wouldn't
underline?
I'm just saying
underline
because
black.
They
white
can
is
be
majority, so they're gonna be in front of the black ones. That's what we're saying.
I'm emphasizing that the whites still get in the back. Enjoy yourself. This is your shit. Have fun.
Because we ain't Southern neither.
Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Because for those of us who weren't there for the past 20 years, let Beyonce give the rest of the blacks our history lesson. Let us remind us that our ancestors created this shit.
We're just saying all blacks first.
Back.
Southern blacks first, then us.
Have fun. They're
Southern
having
whites,
a good time on TikTok. I've been enjoying the tutorials on how to tease your hair and stuff. Go off, white girl. Have a fun time. But back there.
Now, I'm fine with it.
Boots.
I'm fine with it. It just makes me think of like
I'm never okay.
growing up. It makes me think of like watching like the Hannah Montana movie and just like all these different things that like
Miley
I didn't.
Cyrus.
Yeah, like it just makes me like party in the USA.
Chance to talk about her.
Just
tell me what she did.
She won a Grammy.
Yeah, I love that for her.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Grammys at all for her.
We didn't get a chance to talk about that shade.
I didn't watch it.
That shade that she threw to Billy Ray.
Oh, I didn't catch
that.
That
Miley Cyrus threw to Billy Ray?
She got up there and got her award and said her thanks to everybody but him, and then said, I think that's everybody.
I didn't even realize.
She sure did.
Oh, her dad.
Because you know he's married to that girl that he met on set of Hannah Montana.
Oh, no.
I don't like that for her, though.
It's gross. It's gross.
She got a right to feel how she feels.
But I love Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, but I always feel...
I love
I don't know.
Miley Cyrus.
It's a weird thing. Like, I don't feel bad for
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Him. No. But it's like, if I think about it in like if before this moment you revered him as like, that's like Beyonce for take, like with her dad. We know there's a lot of,
we do.
Ups and downs and issues, but the things that that was experienced between like him and her mom didn't allow, like Beyonce has always been known to be like, my dad, he did this or he did that, and I just don't, I feel weird sometimes when bad things happen and now it overshadows in the sense like whatever we've been doing up until this point.
There are different levels of bad though. Being a predator, different.
How old is the girl?
He met her on the set.
But I'm saying, how old is she now? But when you said set, I didn't assume you. I didn't assume she was
young either. I felt
right,
she was
that didn't necessarily mean kid. Right, I said set.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't emphasize that. She was a kid.
Oh, she was a child on the show. Got it.
So the assumption is, and based on everything, the assumption is that she was groomed and is now married to Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yikes.
So the assumption so people are assuming that he's been messing with this little girl like the whole time.
We don't know.
I don't want to believe that.
The allegations.
Well,
but I also don't know anything about it.
I was about to say, everybody do your own.
Yeah, I've never heard.
Yeah, research. No, but I do with us.
I personally,
because him and mom just got divorced like a year or two ago. Like it's fresh.
Men cheat on their wives all the time.
No, I know that. I just meant like if that was a known thing or like wouldn't we have seen Miley funny acting before, like before that. Not like just because.
When's the last time we saw her like
divorced?
Kicking it with her dad?
But we haven't seen her throw shade to her dad.
But we haven't seen her a lot either. This was the first time
I've seen her a lot.
Oh,
like,
she just
doing
the album
things.
came out.
Like she's had albums, she's had performances, she's done.
I haven't seen
like interviews.
This Flowers song and album is the first time I've seen Melody.
No, she's been outside like before that.
I would say she's been outside.
Yeah, like she be around.
Not as much as usual, but
no, but I don't be seeing her. Not enough for her to like say a thing and us be like,
probably not
what
enough.
Does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen her do like, because she did the Kevin Hart interview, like when he had his show doing interviews with people.
Show?
I don't know, but like she was there.
Yeah.
Like
I would rather. I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart much, but I would rather see Kevin Hart's show. I feel like Kevin Hart's show, we got like a couple of clips, but like this Club Shay Shay stuff is going too far. I would rather see
Shay Shay at all.
It's
I didn't realize I didn't like Shannon Sharp until he started doing this stuff. He's a little bit of a
and then every episode is 3
really think about it.
hours.
Can you imagine if we just put one episode out for 3 hours? Why would y'all watch that?
I mean, some people
be entertaining.
would.
It depends on who
It'll
it
be
is.
in the
Some
background.
people would.
Depends on who's on that 3 hours.
But then also,
every
like,
episode is insane.
I personally, I don't care who it is.
I haven't turned one on yet.
I'm trying to think
I've watched clips.
I'm trying to honestly think of who it would be. It would probably have to be a Beyonce, a Jay Z,
I'm about to say it has to be Beyonce,
or like a fucking Spice Girl for me to look at, because we're not in the era right now. Like TV, like we know what we're getting into. It's not just like live TV where we're like, damn, we look around, god damn, this been on for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like when the fucking what is it? Not Life is But a Dream. What was Michael Jackson's first movie that like aired 2 nights in a row? Like it was a whole big thing.
American Dream.
American Dream. Like people did. I don't know if people really gathered. Like okay, we're sitting here for 2 hours. Like, but you know what I mean? But like that's back in the day where we don't. There's no like pause button where we could be like, oh, it's an hour and a half more of this shit. You know, like when I see, oh, this is 3 hours.
It's a hard no.
I have to be so fucking invested and interested to be like, well, I guess I better buckle up. Like,
yeah.
I
also don't put the pressure on myself of assuming that I'm about to sit here and watch this for 3 hours. No. That's a thing where like, if I do like this person or I do want to hear what's going on, this is something that's gonna happen over the course of time. Like I'm like on the way to work today, I heard 30 minutes.
No.
And then maybe like 2 weeks from now, I'll be like, oh. And go back to like like that's I do all things.
If it were someone who I really, really care to hear their thoughts, a Beyonce, a Jay Z, a Spice Girl, I would be like, whew, that's 3 hours. Let me allot some time. Like I would literally be like, I'm gonna set that aside, and it might take me 2 weeks to actually watch it. But I'm not gonna be like, okay, let me start it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lock in when I lock in. But like. The thought of watching 3 hours of Monique talk about Oprah and Tyler Perry.
Monique, Cat Williams.
Here's the thing about Cat Williams, though. Cat Williams is at least a storyteller, and he's compelling with his words. I didn't watch it, but I understood how people watched it. Because he's like, he's an outrageous person. He's outrageous. He's funny. He's actually good at speaking. Like, he said a lot of shit that clearly wasn't true.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's very smart. He's very funny. He's very compelling. I can understand how somebody sat there and was just like I can understand someone getting lost in that, not even realizing that it's been 3 hours. Because it's like, this dude is crazy. This is interesting. This is, but Monique, girl, you're not saying anything. You're not saying anything that we haven't heard before. It's literally the same thing over and over and over again.
Sweetheart,
also,
baby.
If it's 3 hours long, granted, I have not watched this whole
Tell us
interview,
something new.
but I would assume we are getting the sound bites.
Oh, for
so
sure.
if it's 3 hours long, if we were to choose to sit and watch it, I would hope it is not 3 hours of her talking about Oprah and like all the people that did her wrong in life. Like,
but think about that though. As a team on Club Shay Shay's part, if she was giving us anything interesting, wouldn't you give us the sound bites that are something new?
No. Honestly, from a Club Shay Shay standpoint, I think that because he grew so much traction from the Cat Williams thing.
But he told us stuff that we never heard before.
But I'm saying so much allure came around the drama.
He just thought,
like I think that like so much allure came around the I'm name dropping. I'm talking shit about people, like, and people being like, whoa, like Shay about to become the new you know. So I think that like now if he does bring somebody on his show that does choose to say names and this and that, he's gonna post it. Like, I don't think he's looking at it as like, oh, we heard this already, Monique. Like, he's looking at it as like, this is the place you come.
Maybe I'm
and
giving
also
him too
with
much
Monique,
credit.
he was way more willing to like ride and co-sign with her than he was with Cat Williams. Because when Cat Williams was on there, he was
Cat.
Yeah, like he was way more like kind of hands off, like, like I'm not gonna get into this. But with Monique, he was with the shits. Like with Monique, he was like,
oh, you think he hates them?
Like, I don't think he, but he was just willing. I don't know if it's because of like whatever's happened behind closed doors with Monique's case. If maybe he's like on her side, or if it's just because she's Monique.
Let him hear. That's the thing that she recorded and stuff.
So I don't know what it was, but he was definitely more willing when she would bring up stuff. Yeah, he was chiming in with the like, "How's she saying something? She ain't got no man." Yep. Like, you know, like he was saying, like he was saying shit.
I'm kind of curious though if that's more of like a because she's a woman.
That's what I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, he was definitely more down to clown with Monique versus.
You could be right. You could be right. I think that the clips are the reason why I was like, there's nothing about this that's making me want to divest another 3 hours to watch this. No. Because nothing that you're saying on there is making me be like, what she saying about such? Like, you've already, and it's like, no, like, okay, you know.
Y'all know I love Usher Down, and I didn't even watch Usher's. But I think Clips.
He was on Clips.
That was previously recorded, Clips, but I hated that.
But regardless, like, I fucking love him. And I think Clips are sometimes the downfall to me as far as, like, I can get so much content. Yeah, I do that even with TV shows. Yeah. There are shows that I once used to watch, like, heavily. Like, I was on it. Like, okay, Monday night, the show's coming on. But now, because I know there are enough clips, I will just watch the clips. I will literally wait for the night the show comes out and watch the clips that a person posts and be like, got it.
And between the clips and the commentary, that really is enough. So and that is annoying.
They definitely take away the allure. Like, I know
wish
enough.
that we could have some sort of like internet etiquette about that kind of media. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish that it was just like equally agreed upon. Like, if we all agree as a people, as a culture, that this person's interview is that important, then yeah, bitch, you better watch it that night because we all gonna talk about it by the morning, like that sort of thing. But like, other than that, I shouldn't be too much of that. It
be everywhere.
It is very annoying.
It be everywhere. Cat Williams, all those people, like, I know what happened.
No, for real. Because honestly, even Jay Z has done way more interview type stuff than Beyonce in the past like 10 years. Yes. Where like to the point where it's like, I don't know what Jay Z could be saying that's like so brand new. Right. Like at this point, like for Jay Z, like because Jay Z is not really like Jay Z isn't doing the Jay Z thing for me anymore. I love Jay Z, but I love Jay Z as an artist. Right. I'm not an aspiring. He's the mogul right now. I'm not an aspiring business mogul. I don't really. Right. I don't really care about that stuff. So it's like he's not doing anything in the realm that I care enough about for me to be like, ooh, I'm finna really type into this. I think, and for a lot of people, when, unfortunately, which is stupid to me, but for a lot of people, when Jay-Z talks, they just be hoping he say something about Beyonce. Like, oh, what's he going to reveal about her life?
What are you saying about your wife?
You know, that type of shit is dumb to me. But, like, yeah, I feel like as far as, like, compelling and really, like, really piquing my curiosity, it would literally have to be Beyonce, and that's annoying. I hate that.
Jay-Z for me. I would definitely tune in.
I don't know what he would say though that I would be like, ooh, brand new information. Like I don't know what he would be giving.
I don't necessarily,
because I've watched every interview in the past 10 years. I've watched everything around 444, which was deep and in depth and a lot, and then everything after that where he's just like, I have told y'all in 10 albums how to like do stuff, and like he's not, and when he talks, he's really not this like, he's not really giving a whole lot if you pay close enough attention. He's really just like being Jay-Z. Like if you watched an interview from Jay-Z in the 90s, it's kind of same. And so like I'm not really getting anything. But like Beyonce has been, aside from her own curated media, she's been radio silent for like a decade. She has not spoken to us. Period.
So like, I care more about hearing him now than I did. I would be so curious. because back then, because like you said, because he was still like an artist and he was still active, I was experiencing him more. So it was like, yeah, like I was still excited to see him or see interviews, but it wasn't like as big of a deal. But now that he is more of like dad and businessman and husband, like I think I'm more prone to caring of what he has to say now, because I don't hear him as much. Like I don't like see, he's not as like on the scene and as like as he was like in the past. Like now we only see him behind the scenes holding a baby.
I think like you just uncovered though why I would be so disinterested though, because those categories, parenting, marriage, and business, those are the things.
But he doesn't talk about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Those are the things that I care about the least.
So but he doesn't talk about those things.
So what would he be talking about? Like if
he
he's
talks
only
about him, I feel like he still talks about him and like his knowledge that he has of like the business and the game and things that has happened. Like he doesn't necessarily talk about the things that he's doing. Now, like when you said people be hoping that he said something about Beyonce, he rarely ever says anything about Beyonce. Not like like bomb drop. You know, like he may be like, yeah, my wife did the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Y'all know that already.
But he's not. Beyonce will give us real tea before he will, and she doesn't talk as much.
That's like that's I think that's why she doesn't.
She gives tea. Like Jay Z's not gonna give us tea on Beyonce. Yeah. He'll give us tea about something that was like been floating around, like you said, since the '90s that we've been dying to figure out, like who really won that battle between you and DMX, and he gonna be like, okay. like now I'll tell you guys.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm over the whole Club Shay Shay thing. I do love that we're in the space where like media is so vast that people can really gravitate wherever they want to. But I do kind of just, I do be having my hater hat on sometimes where I'm just like, oh brother. Cause like really, journalistically, Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, shout out to you. You did the things. You became popular enough to and like because honestly like having a personality is a skill too though, like that people like I think it's underrated. I think that we look at like social life. I know I do. I look at social life as like, oh, this bitch has no talent, but like it's one thing to get into a room, but to be able to like command attention and have people like you and gravitate, like there's something about that. So like for you to be this like Hall of Famer football player, that could have just been it. That's enough for you to be on ESPN. We know what you're talking. We know that you know what you're talking about when it comes to football. That's what brought you in this room. But you got enough other rooms where people were like, "Oh, this nigga is cool. This nigga is funny. This nigga is whatever it is that you brought into the space where you have this." And it's like I can't hate on that as much as I want to, because I do feel like, why don't you have a team of people? Somebody telling you how to actually run a fucking interview. And I think that's why I be so adamant about us here not doing actual interviews, because we're not journalists. So like I don't want to call it that, because we're not like if I had my Oprah or my Barbara Walters hat on and I was really doing my research and doing the work, if I didn't have a fucking 9 to 5, hell yeah, I would lean into that shit. But I make sure when we have guests, I tell them like, hey, y'all coming here to vibe. We might ask you some questions or whatever to like get the conversation going, but like this ain't an interview, because I take that seriously.
But I think these days I take that seriously. The same thing goes. Like I don't think he's trying to stamp himself as a journalist either, though. But I think we live in a world. I look at all the, not to say like all the podcasts count for this, but I think like the mass amount of like podcasts and talk shows and like all these things that we have now is the same way I view the mass like influx of music and stuff that we have now. It's just so much. Like there's so much. It's just there to the extent that like I'm truly not paying it that because it's that much attention, because it's too much. Like I don't think that he is walking into rooms like, look, I'm a hardcore journalist.
No, I don't think that he is, but I also think that like you don't choose your labels. When you come into a space and you are like positioned as an interviewer, because these are not just like, it's a different thing from like the LeBron barbershop thing where like we're just all here kind of vibing, having a conversation. We invited Will Smith, or we invited whoever, and like it becomes part of the forum or the part of the format of the show. But like you've created this platform where it's just you and another person, a high value, like people have their attention on this person type person, we do expect you to be like a journalist in that space.
Yeah.
The only difference to me is just that he's older. But honestly, like older than like the younger, like when I think of like Young Miami show, when I think of the
Young
girl,
Miami's
that
did a
white
much better
girl,
job than him.
Bobby, when I think of Funny
she's
Marco,
not a person that
when I think of like, I'm like, I don't necessarily tune into any of these people. Like, I'm not trying to say like I think they're like great at it. I'm saying that I put them all, there is a market now for sitting in a seat, having a person there, and you letting whatever happens. It's not about actual journalism and like the actual artistry of like talking to a person and doing an interview. Like there is a specific market now for we're just here.
Clearly.
We're just here. And we're going to see what happens. He's just older. All the other people are so much younger than him
like,
that are doing
a lot of the younger, and that's the thing.
Not.
I don't consume a lot of that stuff. I watched Carisha Please, and Carisha Please as
that's a personality.
We can argue about her eloquence or whatever. She came with like, hey, let's talk about, like she had, you know what I'm saying? That's journalistic. She came with a specific question that insinuates that she had done a little bit of research, even if her research was the shade room. You know what I'm saying? That's still the slightest bit of journalism where Shannon is just like,
That's what people want to see these days. But I feel like his team is not trying to make him do better because they're like, this is what they want.
Yes,
from
but
you.
I'm saying I don't know how much longer it's going to last because as far as like not like of course it can last forever because like millions is millions, but like that high millions that Cat Williams had, he's not gonna keep seeing that because it's like at the end of the day you still have to produce something of quality. Unless and like it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna be that many more people that are gonna be of interest to us.
I think that about the majority of the things that are out these days. Like they catch a moment, they catch a wave, and then because of that wave, you'll never hit that amount of stardom again necessarily, but you will be able to sustain.
Sure.
You will be able to continue to be you and make money, and that's really all the team. And that's all we're looking for. And like honestly, you try to get too smart, the kids might not want to hear you no more.
And more than anything, though, too, I am pro Black mediocrity because I think that, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have Black excellence, to be like the best of the best. And we tell all of our kids that you got to work twice as hard to be half as good. Like, I want us to really get out of that mindset. I want us to understand that it is a mindset. I know that might be a little bit edgy and controversial for some people, but like, I want us to stop feeding that narrative to our community because white people literally get to show up in a space, Bobby, whoever, and just be like cute and clueless and just make millions of fucking dollars and because of whoever they know or whatever. And I want that for us too. So I say all of that stuff about Shannon Sharpe not to be like, I say that as like a real person who's interested in journalism. And like, if I see somebody who I admire, like a Monique and a Cat Williams, I wanted there to be a little bit more of a back and forth, like, oh, and he asked a very compelling question. Like it would have been nice, But at the end of the day, I'm proud of him. I'm proud that he has a platform where he can, do that shit. That's great. Anywho. Yeah. I guess the theme of these episodes being Am I the Asshole is kind of us.
We'll do it again another time.
It's kind of us. We've had a lot of opinions on these episodes.
No, I still want to do the thing. Yeah, so we're just to do it for the next time you see us. Okay. The next time you see us.
Okay, I gotta get some more too though because I didn't realize that they be taking them down.
Oh,
so it's funny.
I had like a whole different.
I haven't looked at my list. I haven't looked at my list since we first came up with it, and I went and clicked on all the links, and only 2 of them are actually still up. So we'll do it in real time that time.
Okay, I had like a whole I was on looking at like a website that had comprised its own.
Oh, that's smart.
So that website just always
I was
be there.
On the actual site looking at in real time, and then people get scared and take that shit down because they've been telling too much of their business. But anywho, thank y'all so much for being here as always. We'll talk to y'all next week. What else? Oh yeah, please make sure that you follow us where we can be followed. You can follow us at Away with Words, the podcast on TikTok and on Instagram. You can follow me there at Bree.stories and at Bree_stories on TwitTwat. You can follow at A_Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on TwitTwat. Make sure that you're following at MJM Kid and at Moments_Stew because that's where all the cool shit is. Might as well follow at Please Be Easy. Haven't heard from him, but Please Be Easy. Yep. We love y'all so much. We'll talk to y'all soon. Oh, I have heard from him. Let me not do him like that. He told me happy birthday. That was literally a few days ago. I'm being so shady. I love you, Ryan. We'll talk to y'all soon. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Love you.